In the last class, we discussed about outline classification of the phylum, outline classification of the organisms. Today, I will continue with the binomial nomenclature. Binomial nomenclature, and this is adopted by binomial nomenclature is one that is used to naming the organisms. So one method is mainly adopted by Linnaeus. So Linnaeus adopted one method in 1758. So this method is called binomial nomenclature, and this is generally known as artificial system of classification, as only morphological characters are considered. So hence it is artificial classification. This classification is considered as universal, and this is accepted across the world, as it is more convenient to study the organisms. Hence it is called universal system of classification, and this is called binomial nomenclature. Simply binomial nomenclature simply means bi means two, nom means names. So using two names, simple name. So here, so this involves binomial nomenclature involves naming of organisms with two names. Naming of organisms with two names. Mainly, so this comes under taxonomy. So taxonomy is studied under two branches. One is nomenclature, that is also known as naming. Another one, systematics or placing or grouping. So taxonomy, you know very well, taxonomy is identification, naming and grouping of organisms called taxonomy. So studied under two branches, nomenclature, that is naming. Another one is systematics, so also known as placing, also known as grouping. So here, so nomenclature. So how to do the nomenclature? So how to do the naming of organisms. So here, naming of organisms involves naming of organisms involves naming of organisms with the two names. So two names, one is generic name, another one is specific name. So one is generic name, another one is specific name. So here, to know this, we to know the concept of genus and as well as species. So genus and as well as species. So first we to know what is species. So without knowing the concept of species, so here the classification cannot be made. First we to know the concept of species clearly, so then only we can clearly understand the classification of organisms. So unless we know the concept of species, we can't understand the classification of organisms. So first we to know the species. So species chiefly refers to a group. So what group of what? So here, as we mainly concerned with the study of organisms, so species is the mainly group of organisms. Group of organisms. So what type of organisms? So group of organisms which are similar in characters. Group of organisms which are similar in character, and they can interbreed to produce fertile offspring. So such group of organisms called the species. So generally, there are some organisms which are similar in some characters. So those organisms are made into one group. And also one important aspect of species, the similarity in the organisms, and that group of organisms are able to produce fertile offspring. That is able to produce, they able to continue its own generation. That means they should produce their own generation, and they should be able to produce the reproduction. So that is the another one is similarity, another one is they are able to continue its own generation. So the group of organisms have those characters called as the species. So species is the group of organisms which are similar in character and are able to continue its own generation. They can interbreed to produce fertile offspring. So that group of organisms called the species. So they can take only species. So for example, sapiens. This is the name of the species of man. So that is sapiens, because all human beings living across the world, they are similar in so many characters. So generally, how the human beings similar in characters. So all human beings have two hands, two legs, 2 ears, 2 eyes, nose. So these characters are same. So all human beings are common in some characters. Hence, all human beings are made as called as generally man. But the name given to this one is the sapiens. So that is the concept of species. So let's come to genus. What is genus? So genus is the another next group. I told you species always each one refers to group. So here the genus is another group which comes after the species. So genus is nothing but so a group of two or more closely related species. So that is called as genus. So there are number of species which are they are common some characters. So they have some characters in common. There are number of species of life forms. So they have some characters in common and they are related to one particular group. Again, so that is called as genus. Okay. So genus is the group of two or more closely related species. So called as genus. Okay. So here, so like that, first they are made into a particular group. So this is naming and group. So here another important species. So genus always starts with capital letter and species always starts with small letter. That's another important aspect. Genus starts with capital letter and species starts with small letter. So that is so all of these are known by one particular name, two names, genus and as well as species. So after naming of organisms in this way, so here next they are put into one particular order. So number of groups are made and all the groups are arranged one after the another. So that arrangement of groups one after the another is called as taxonomical hierarchy. So that is taxonomical hierarchy. So it is the placing of groups in one particular order one after the another. So that is called as taxonomical hierarchy. So here, so like that, all the life forms they are made into different groups, and they are arranged one after the another. That is called taxonomical hierarchy. And placing of organisms in a different group level, particular group level, so that is called systematic. So genus and species that is come under naming. So after naming of organisms with two names, so they are put into particular groups. That is called systematics or placing or grouping of organisms. So here after I told already all the life forms we have in this biosphere. So here they are known by they have been brought into the five kingdom system. Five kingdom system like Monera, Mutsta, Plantae, Fungi, Animalia. As a main concept with the animals. So here all animals we have identified. So first they come under phylum, class, order like this. So first topmost, so all the animals they brought into one kingdom that is called phylum Animalia. So phylum is kingdom. Also all the groups, larger groups are made, they are called kingdom. So we have five kingdoms, Monera, Mutsta, Plantae, Fungi, Animalia. So here all animals are brought under one kingdom that is phylum, kingdom, Animalia. So again, so each Animalia is the larger group which is put at the top of the system. So after that it is followed by the smaller groups. Smaller groups, first kingdom, then family, then order, class, then phylum, and then genus and as well as species. So like that, so according to the characteristics of the organisms, they have made into different groups. So at the top we have one group that is called kingdom. So kingdom will generate a number of number of phylum. So here kingdom is followed by the first followed by the family. So due to the concept of all groups, so kingdom is known this includes all phylum. So here first we should know we already know the concept of genus and as well as species. So now we need to know the concept of family. So the family is nothing but the group of two or more closely related genus. So that is called as the family. So family is the group of two or more closely related genus. So that is called as family. So generally examples horse as well as ass. So they are different species, but they look alike. So they have some characters in common. So horse and as well as donkey, they are different each other, but they have some characters in common. So they have their own family. So that is called equidae. So generally, one important feature of equidae, the word ends with day is called the family. So as horse, so they come under family, that is So next coming to order. So order is nothing but again it is the group of two or more closely related families. After family you have the next group, that is order. What is order? Order is a group of two or more closely related families. So here we have generally two families. One is Felidae and Canidae. So they are both of them are both different families, but they have some characters in common. Hence they are brought under one order, that is Carnivora. So that order is Carnivora. So two different families, but they have some characters in common. They have similarities in some aspects. Hence they put under Carnivora. So next is class. So what is class? Class is taken into the group of two or more closely related orders. It is class is the group of two or more closely related orders. So here, for example, Cetaceae and Carnivora. So they are different orders, and both of them are different orders, but they have some characters in common. Hence they are put under the class Mammalia. So put under the class Mammalia. So like that. So here next is phylum. So phylum is again you know very well, it is the group of two or more closely related classes. Phylum is the group of two or more closely related families. So class Mammalia. So Mammalia is the one what we call class. So next phylum. So phylum is the group of two or more closely related classes. There are number of classes. So they are different in character, different in various aspects, but they have some characters in common. They have some similarities in some aspects. Hence they come under the classes. So some classes like include protozoa. So particularly rhizopoda and placenta, so they are protozoans. So they are included in the phylum Protozoa. So like that. So after that group is followed by the next genus and as well as species. So already we already discussed about the genus and as well as species. So here like that. So all the groups have been arranged one after another in one particular system. So that is called taxonomy. That is called as taxonomy. So first the kingdom, and then family, then order, then class, phylum, genus, and as well as the species. So here you should know that all life forms which are found in this biosphere represented by 7 units. Represented by 7 units. So kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, then genus, and as well as the species. If you take one example, so man. So man is one particular species or one particular animal found in this biosphere. And what is the address of man in this biosphere? So we have our own address, like where we live, how we are identified. We are identified our own address. For example, we take one particular state, one particular district, one particular within the district, one particular area, and within the area one particular main, and within the main one particular class. Within the particular class we have a particular door number. So this is how we are all identified. So like that, in this system, all life forms they have their own address to identify. So this is what, for example, man. So now what is the address of man in this system? So that is first kingdom. So man belongs to kingdom Animalia, and then belongs to the phylum Chordata, and then the class Mammalia, and then order primates. We all belong to the order primates, and then family Hominidae. We belong to the family Hominidae, and you know very well. So the genus is Homo and species Sapiens. So this is the man is identified one particular name. That is the scientific name of man. That is the address of man in this system. That is Homo sapiens. So this is called binomial nomenclature. So if you know this thoroughly, we can understand the classification clearly. Unless knowing about the nomenclature and classification, we can't understand taxonomy. So that is what binomial nomenclature.